Danmirr Consultants and Professional Advice Bureau present Achievers.
We all dream of fame and success, but not all our dreams come true. What makes our achievers' dreams come true? Our guest today is celebrity millionaire James Caan, the gentle dragon of Dragon's Den. Let's talk to him about his journey to success.
Hi, I'm James.
Hi, good to see you.
Lovely to see you too. We here?
Yes, we are.
Fantastic.
James, you're a hero to some, an inspiration to many. Of course, one of the most successful entrepreneurs in the UK, and the gentle dragon from the den. Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
So James, you're a self-confessed millionaire. What did you spend your first million on?
What did I spend my first million? I think like a lot of people, my passion was cars. And I'd always had an ambition to own a convertible Rolls Royce, which I always assumed was the first exuberance of luxury that you should engage in. So at the age of 26, I ended up buying a car that was worth more than my house. So that was a bit ridiculous, but that was what I did.
Of course. And you didn't get any stick for that from your wife?
I didn't actually tell them how much it cost because
okay.
I knew I'd get a bit of a lecture.
Yes.
And when my father came for lunch one Sunday and saw the car outside the house, he fell in love with the car and he must have asked me 20 times, how much is it? And I just couldn't, I didn't have the heart to tell him it cost more than the house. So I just said, Dad, you shouldn't ask these questions. It's just a lovely car. Let me take you for a spin. But it was okay. So I had my moments of luxury at that point.
So what's this thing with boys and big cars?
Boys and big cars, I think it just goes with the territory, really. I think.
And what's the territory?
The territory is that if you feel that you've achieved something, that you need those toys. I think toys for boys are absolutely where it's at.
Really?
Yeah, and I've never stopped since, really.
You need to mark the territory.
Clearly.
Oh, clearly. Now, moving on. When you talk, you give the impression of someone who's had a university education. However,
Really?
Yes.
I hadn't noticed.
You didn't know that?
I did not notice that.
But of course, you left, you didn't even complete your O-levels. You left school very early.
Yeah, I was a bit keen.
You're a bit keen, exactly. So, James, why did you give up on your education?
Because I thought at the time I knew what I wanted to do. I'd already made up my mind. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And mentally, I just assume if you know what you're going to do, will the O-levels or the A-levels or the degree, will it make any difference if I know where I'm going? And from a very early age, I was incredibly determined.
What's early?
Early would have been 12.
So at 12, you knew?
I knew then, clearly.
Really? And you didn't think that perhaps you were being a bit immature, a bit childish?
At 12, you're generally not very mature, but I understand your point.
Now, some may call leaving home at your age a brave move. Others may think it was a reckless move. In retrospect, do you think you made the right decision?
I left school at 16 and left home at 16 too. And when I look at children today, at the age of 16, I think, my God, what was I doing? What was I thinking? Because at 16, you don't even know where the front door is, let alone be able to fend for yourself and earn for yourself. And I think a lot of Asian boys certainly are overly pampered by their mothers. And I was no different. So I think that when I look back and think, I left school and left home at 16, I'm quite surprised at myself. But at the time, there was that burning something in me that said, I really want to do this. And so I did. I was a bit of a maverick.
But your parents weren't happy?
My parents weren't happy.
That, of course, they weren't happy that you were leaving
No, they
home.
were not happy.
So you were the black sheep of your family? Initially?
I was the maverick.
Okay.
I was the maverick.
So do you have any guilt now that perhaps you hurt their feelings when you left at 16?
You know, in hindsight, I've looked back on my life. I don't regret anything I've done. I think at the time, each decision made sense. And with hindsight, you may do lots of different things. But certainly from my own experience, I think if I hadn't have done what I did then, I wouldn't be the person I am today. I may never have started my own business. I may not have done the things that I've done.
So your life would have taken a different course if you'd stayed
And I'm very
back.
happy with life as it is, thank you.
So James, you came from humble beginnings, but you have this really deep craving for success. Who inspired you?
My father was my real inspiration. Right from the beginning, I think he, to me, personified what being successful was about. He was incredibly hardworking, really ambitious, very driven, very motivated. And, you know, he made an honest living, and he did it the hard way. And I think when you want to be successful, so many people today constantly look for that shortcut. And I think he illustrated to me that there are no shortcuts to success. You have to be driven, you have to be motivated, and above all, you have to believe in yourself. And, you know, he would be, without a doubt, even to this day, I would certainly mentally position him as the mentor.
Now, you seem to have rushed everything in your life. You left school too early, you left home too early.
I certainly don't think I've rushed anything.
And then...
I think I'm very calm, collected, very considered.
But don't you think you left school early? Because you
really.
did leave your school early and you did leave home quite early.
Yes, I did,
and
but I
then...
did go on and do my education at Harvard Business School.
Of course you did.
I may have left a bit early, but I certainly made it up. So I have no regrets, Sadia, thank you.
No, we're not going there. We are saying that you left, those two, and then you got married very young. So...
Did I get married very young?
Yes, you did.
Really?
In your early 20s, wasn't it?
I think when the right person comes alongside it, it's never too early for the right person, yes.
But James, you come across someone who wants to live life to the fullest. So one wouldn't...
I don't know where people get that impression from.
But you do.
Really? I think I'm pretty relaxed, pretty easygoing.
And you don't like to live life to the fullest?
I think I do it anyway.
You do it anyway.
Well, but I don't project that.
Well, that's the projection people like me and your viewers do get.
Okay.
Which is a good projection.
Okay, so
it's a positive one.
Shall I tone it down a bit then?
Yes, I think that would
Maybe
be nice.
I'll cut the scarf out.
But coming back to my point, you want to live life to the fullest. So one would have thought that you would have perhaps married later in life, because obviously with marriage comes responsibilities, children, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
In retrospect, do you think you would have married slightly later in life?
I mean, I've been married for 28 years now.
Yes.
So I think clearly she was the one, really. And so, no, I don't think I have any regrets, really. No regrets. I'm one of these people in life. I don't look back, Sadia. I only look forward.
You only look forward.
Yeah, because they're the things that I can influence, but I can't change what's happened.
Now, James, a lot of people wonder, why is it that you can't speak the language?
I think my English is outstanding, thank you. I have no regrets of my English. What's wrong with my English?
I did think that your parents were from here, No, but seriously, why can't you speak the language? Because your parents
Sadia, I'm really confused. What's wrong with my language?
Your English is impeccable.
Okay.
But
there's another language.
But your mother tongue is Urdu or Punjabi.
Yes, that's right. Well, when I left Pakistan, I was only 2.
Yes.
And generally, when you're 2, your vocabulary isn't great. You may have not have noticed, but normally 2-year-olds are not as eloquent.
Ouch, James. Ouch.
No, so I left at a very young age, and when I arrived in England, my parents felt that, we just arrived in this new country, and it was really important to learn the local language. And so we were very encouraged to speak in English. And, I must say, I think my English is pretty good. So I have no regrets. Yeah. The other one, because I didn't live in Pakistan, I didn't grow up in Pakistan, I didn't go to school there. So I didn't have that opportunity. And
but you do get by when you're in Pakistan. You do speak a little Urdu.
I do, thank you, yes.
Yes. So
Bilkul theek-thaak bolta hu.
Bilkul theek-thaak bolta hu.
Is that
Excellent.
okay?
Not bad at all.
There you go.
So the Asian media has given you a bit of stick for changing your name from Nazim
really?
to James.
I hadn't noticed.
You
but
didn't.
You obviously read more than I do.
Clearly. So do you think it was really that big a deal?
I changed my name nearly 35 years ago, so a long, long time ago. And at the time, it seemed like a bit of fun. At the time, it wasn't very serious. You know, I was 16, I'd gone to see a movie, I saw this great actor called James Caan, and I thought, wow, wouldn't it be fun to be called James Caan?
If you'd seen Top Gun, you would have been Tom Cruise.
I would have been Tom Cruise, and you know what? And you would have been calling me Tommy today.
Yes.
But I didn't see Top Gun. So I went to see the movie, and I just thought it'd be good fun, and I thought, you know, it would last 2 weeks, or maybe 3. I didn't expect it to last 30 years, but it did. And you know, it's one of those things. Do I regret it? No, I don't.
No, I think James suits you better than Nazim anyway.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Yes, we're being kind now.
Yes, it's moving along rather nicely.
Yes, it is. Now, James, you've inspired many British Asians. How do you feel being a role model?
You know, I don't think one generally feels like a role model. You just do what you think is right. And, you know, I do feel that, you know, a lot of the British Pakistanis or the Asians, you know, in England, I suppose anywhere in the world, you know, do want to look up to somebody that they think that's done well. And, you know, if that inspires people, you know, that really makes me happy. But to a large extent, you know, I get on with my own life. I do the things that I think are important to me. So I don't really think about it very much. And
how did Dragon's Den change your life?
You know, Dragons just happened out of the blue. I never, ever considered doing television or being a TV celebrity. It never, ever crossed my mind. You know, I'm a businessman first. I'm an entrepreneur. And I love being in business. It absolutely enthralls me doing what I do. But just one day, out of the blue, the BBC called and said, we do this show called Dragon's Den, and we're thinking of changing one of the dragons, and we'd love to have you on the show. And I thought, wow.
But did the BBC ever tell you why, amongst all the other Asians who are also millionaires in the UK, why you? Was there something, what was the X factor?
I think that what I do for a living is what I was doing in Dragon's Den. So I think they specifically wanted somebody who invests in people because they had a retail guy, they had a telecoms guy, they had a leisure person. So I think what I brought to the show was quite unique, somebody specifically who's highly focused on investing in people. And that was my reputation. And I'd built a number of businesses before I did Dragon's Den.
Yes.
So I went along and I did the show. I met all the other dragons and we had an absolute ball. It was so much fun seeing some of those crazy people with those crazy ideas. I just thought it'd be really fun to do. And I didn't really consider the business impact or the TV impact because I had no experience. And, you know, when the program aired on TV, it was like, oh my God, you know.
I have arrived.
You know, all of a sudden you can't walk into a restaurant, you can't walk down the street. I mean, it really has changed my life because I don't do a lot of the things that I would have done before. But you know what? It's been an incredible journey, and I would never change it.
Now, you had a very aggressive PR campaign during the time you were in Dragons. Literally, you couldn't go anywhere without seeing you, James. You'd be in the tube station, you pick up the metro, there's James. You go somewhere, there's James. And of course, the book. James was everywhere. What was the strategy behind the PR campaign?
Do you know, I think when you become...
You wanted to be in the hearts and minds of everyone?
You know, I think it was just more to do... The BBC has a relentless media department because they want to promote their show. They want to promote the dragons because the dragons are the inspiration. And I think it was more to do that the media, I think, took a liking to me because I think it's hard to get PR if they don't think it sells newspapers or magazines. I just think I was at the right place at the right time. And, you know, it worked, really. But I don't think there was this strategy or some preconceived plan.
You didn't want to replace Alan Sugar or anything like that?
No, I think, you know, there's a place for Alan and I think there's a place for James, clearly. And I'm very happy with the place I'm at.
Okay. We've been having a real fun chat with James Caan. But we'll go for a little break. See you shortly.
And Sadia, for those reasons, I'm out.
3 describing words. What's the secret to success?
You know, I'm not here to speak for Duncan Bannatyne. I think he can speak for himself. I never got involved with any tittle-tattle. You know, as far as I'm concerned, you know, I do a good show. Can I abstain from that one?
No, you have to give us one answer.
Danmirr Consultants present Achievers.
Welcome back. Our achiever today is James Caan. Let's get back to him with some very interesting questions. Now, James, people dream of health, wealth, and fame. You have all three. Does that equate to happiness?
Somebody asked me a question recently that said, if you could do anything you wanted to do, what would it be? And I really thought about it and I reflected. And my answer was, actually, you know what? If I had the choice of doing anything, I'd do what I'm doing now. Which kind of means I'm pretty happy where I am. I'm very content. I'm happy with life. I really enjoy the work I do. I enjoy the things that I'm involved with. And I think that's really important. So my motive in life is, live every day that you can, enjoy what you do, and make the most of the opportunities that life presents.
So health, wealth, and fame does buy happiness?
It does, actually, I think in that combination it does, yes.
Now, what are the highs and lows of fame, in your opinion?
Highs and lows of fame. I think the highs are, when everything's going well, you're on a roller coaster. As you say, the show's doing really well, the book's selling really well, the businesses are flying, and everything's like amazing. Wherever you go, everybody wants to know you. You get invited to the best parties. It's great. When it's not going very well, when maybe one of your investments, doesn't perform, or when the businesses don't do really well, it's like anybody in life, really. I suppose it's not great, but I've become very accustomed to, you've got to take the rough with the smooth. You can't. Life is not just a bed of roses. There are twists and turns, and it's really what I said before. You have to make the most of whatever opportunity, good or bad.
And James, some people find it a bit surprising that you resigned from Dragon's Den. You were the first dragon to leave. Now, why did you leave Dragon's Den?
That's a tough one, because you're right. The show's really successful.
Yes.
It attracts nearly 6 million people a week. It's an iconic show. But one of the things that I've learnt in life, that it's very important in life to know when to get in, but I think sometimes it's even more important to know when to get out.
So it wasn't because of your tiff with Duncan?
No, that's a bit...
But that must have made things a little uncomfortable
really.
In the den.
No, not particularly. I think I'm better than that. I think I'm more professional than that. I think for me, there were really two issues.
Was he professional?
Was he professional? I'm not here to speak for Duncan Bannatyne. I think he can speak for himself. What I can certainly say is I think I handle it extremely professionally. I never got involved with any tittle-tattle. As far as I'm concerned, I do a good show. I invest on the show. I've got some fantastic investments, and I have no regrets. But for me, I think if you're on any show, not necessarily Dragon's Den, and you do something for too long, you become very stereotyped, and people only see you as that. And I didn't really want to do that. I think life's about a journey, and you want to live that journey, but I don't want anything to end up dominating who I am or my life. So I didn't want everybody to think that's all I do. And secondly, my life has changed so much since Dragon's Den, where today I have nearly 40 businesses that I run, which takes up a huge amount of my time. We've launched the James Caan Foundation, which takes up at least 2 days a week of my time. And there are so many other projects, media, social, other TV activities I'm involved with. So if you work out that I do 2 days a week, that's 6 days a week. Dragon's Den takes nearly 15 days. I just don't have 15 weeks every year to dedicate, because something has to compromise. And I decided at Christmas I didn't want to compromise the foundation. I didn't want to compromise my work life, because I love the business I'm in. And something had to go. And unfortunately, and I say that sincerely, regrettably, I just thought I can't do Dragons anymore.
And that was your exit?
And that was my exit. Exit James Caan.
Exit James Caan. Now, you have countless achievements, James. In your eyes, what is your most significant achievement?
I think launching the foundation for me has probably been the highlight of my life so far. when I launched the James Caan Foundation, we started with building a school for deprived children in Pakistan. And I think the gift of changing somebody's life, the gift of giving somebody something they never had before, I find really inspiring. And today we have nearly 486 children that we educate. And you know, we pick up all the expenses, we pay the teacher's salary, we own the minibuses, we buy the uniforms, and we provide completely free education. And having done the school, and now we've just built a village for 1,000 people.
That's your Build a Village Foundation, isn't it?
So
can you tell us a little bit about the foundation? Because I believe not many people are that aware within the Asian market about what the foundation is doing for the villages in Pakistan.
I mean, so basically, when the floods happened in Pakistan, I suppose like a lot of people, I was really affected. You know, the idea that 20 million people have lost everything really broke my heart. I was quite taken aback by just how much devastation that had taken place. So I literally got on a plane the next day, went out, had a look for myself, and I just felt that need, that responsibility, that I wanted to do something. So I picked a particular village that had about 1,000 people, and I decided to rebuild all of their houses for them and rebuild the school and the mosque and the hospital, etc. So my Build a Village program right now is really focused and concentrating in giving back to the lives of those 1,000 people who in my eyes have kind of lost everything. So to me, the foundation for me, it is the highlight of my life. I think that's given me what I feel is probably the greatest satisfaction.
Now, James, why is it, I mean, you're very successful in the UK, but at this point in your life, your focus has shifted to Pakistan, more so now in the later years. Like you're investing in Pakistan, you are doing so much philanthropy work in Pakistan. Why now? Why do you think you're going back to your roots?
I don't know really. I mean, I think a lot of sometimes events take over themselves. So, you know, I think I'm doing the village because of the floods. If the floods hadn't have happened, I probably wouldn't have done that. I don't think it's particularly a focus. I think I tend to go where I think, you know, the opportunity arises. I mean, I'm the chairman of the Big Issue magazine in England, which is the largest selling magazine for the homeless people. You know, I do a substantial amount for Prince's Trust, for Prince Charles, and do a lot of mentoring work for kids in the UK. So, I mean, I do a lot of activity here too, but I suppose the media tends to publicise some of the activities in Pakistan, which is fine, I'm okay with that.
Now, during your time in Dragons and throughout your media interviews, you stay very calm and very composed. Nobody's ever seen James lose it. Now, would you call yourself an unemotional person?
No, I think I'm extremely emotional. I'm highly sensitive.
Really?
And I'm quite touchy, actually, as well.
Oh, really?
So no, I wouldn't agree with that, actually. No, I think I'm quite emotional.
So is that a facade for the press?
I didn't realise I'd come across that way. I am the way I am.
Or am I the first person telling you that?
I think you are, actually.
Really?
Yes, I think you are. Nobody's ever said that to me before, but I'll be conscious about it.
You'll take it on board. Now, do you consider yourself to be a workaholic?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you see I didn't hesitate there?
No, you didn't.
It just flowed.
Not for a second. It just flew in. And do you intend to be a workaholic in the...
Yes, I do.
Really?
Yeah. I love what I do. I'm at a great place. I enjoy what I do. I love the business I'm in. I love the people I invest in. It gives me the motivation to do the things that I do. So I wouldn't change it at all. So,
James, you had the book The Real Deal, and now you've published another book.
Yes, I have, yes. I've become an author now.
You've become an author now. I believe your book is called How to Get Your Dream Job.
Yes.
And I believe it's doing very well.
Yes, it is, thank you.
So why feel the need to publish another book? Don't you not have enough going on?
I think right now there's a real need. I think unemployment in this country, is probably the worst it's been. Student unemployment is incredibly high. And I think that the jobless market needed something to help in the current economic environment. And, as a businessman, I saw an opportunity. I thought my timing was impeccable.
Oh, okay.
Bring out a book right now on how to get the job you really want.
Yes.
When so many people need a job. So I just thought it was
Have you got any feedback yet? Is it really helping people?
I mean, genuinely, funnily enough, I was with the publishers on Friday. The book is doing outstandingly well. It's doing phenomenal. But actually, a lot of people are writing back to the publisher saying that having read the book, it really helped them to get the job they really wanted. That really makes me feel great that actually it's doing what it says on the tin. And if I can help somebody get something they may not have got, then that's a great feeling.
In 3 describing words, what's the secret to success?
Ambition, passion, and drive.
Good one. And what does the future hold for James Caan?
Excitement, fun, I think lots more exciting projects. I mean, already I've only been out of Dragons for a month and so much has come along. There's so much going on. There's just a lot happening in my life. So, I think the next 10, 20, 30 years, inshallah, I think will be, to me, although I probably don't look it, but I just turned 50.
Wasn't that last year?
Yeah, and
oh, okay, sorry.
Maybe a few years ago. No, so and it's really funny. To me, turning 50 felt like the beginning of the journey. So to me,
that's
right
half a
now,
century, right?
I think this is the beginning of my journey, not the end of my journey. So I think if you want a really frank response, I think the best is yet to come.
The best is yet to come. Good one. Now, James, there is a part of a program what's called What's on Your Mind. Okay. And 10 very simple questions.
What's on your mind?
Yes. And whether you like it or not, you have to give us one option. Okay? So should we start our round? And you have to be very quick about it.
Okay.
What's on your mind? Zach Goldsmith or Jemima Khan?
It would have to be Jemima.
Mujra Girls or Private Dancer?
Mujra Girls or Private? Would have to be a private dancer.
Nihari or Sushi?
I think it would be Sushi.
Really?
Yes.
Batman or Robin Hood?
I think Batman.
Bankers or politicians?
Politicians.
Gay Pride or Mardi Gras?
Mardi Gras.
George Bush Jr. or Zardari? What a great choice.
Oh, wow. Can I abstain from that one?
No, you have to give us one answer.
God, that's a tough one. I'm sorry, I refuse.
You have to,
I refuse.
On.
I can't.
James, come on, you got to play the game. You got to be a player.
No, but I can't because I can't accept that I would vote for either. So no.
Is it that repulsive?
Yes.
So what's your least favorite?
No, I'm just going to refrain from the answer to the question. I'm sorry.
We thought you'd say that with the Mujra Girls, but hey. Mother Teresa or Angelina Jolie?
I think Angelina.
Hira Mandi or Soho?
Okay, well, I'm not sure I know the other one, but Soho I'm familiar with. That's where all the media companies are, yeah? It's very much kind of film industry, Soho.
Well, you had no idea about the first one. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I clearly didn't.
Clearly didn't.
I couldn't even pronounce it.
Of course, because you can't speak the language.
There you go.
But if you did, you'd know. Anyway, caviar or pan?
Caviar.
Space Odyssey or Charlie Chaplin?
Charlie Chaplin.
So James, before you depart, could you do a favorite line for us? It could be a line from a movie or a TV program, just something different.
Well, Sadia, my favourite line is the line that we always use at Dragon's Den, which goes like this. And Sadia, for those reasons, I'm out.
You're out.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure having you.
Great to be on this show.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed our very upfront interview with James Caan. We hope to see you next week with our next guest. Stay tuned.
Danmirr Consultants and Professional Advice Bureau present Achievers.